Despite some of the most insane possible plays for version 1 to keep them in that game, it is EG closing out in overtime. Only the second team in Game Changers to take a map off of this version 1 squad, and they're now up a map in the series for the grand finals of Game Changers here. I'm Mimi, joined back again by Wyatt and Potter on the desk. And Wyatt, it's absolutely unreal that despite rounds like that, EG still closed this one out.
Yeah, that is what's so shocking about this result. If we take it back to the beginning, talking about, all right, version 1, they have this great map pool. They get to ban out EG's best maps. We're going to bind EG's ban. Floor's dropping, what, 600 kills, and they still lose to EG? That is more than a testament to what EG have been able to do here. The mountain that they had to climb, what they had to overcome. Really shocking result, to be honest.
For sure, shocking indeed, and especially considering that was one of many rounds that Floor had just like that, multi-kill after multi-kill. I believe there was even a triple kill entry one round where version 1 were still not able to convert. So it's really a testament to EG just using the teamwork together to kind of just shut everyone else down.
Yeah, two things really stuck out to me. First of all, the fact that EG seemingly always had someone around the corner ready to trade. Their synergy was perfect for such a brand new team. But also why they executed this comp so well, especially getting a ton of value out of this chamber.
Yeah, I loved what Starbound was doing. The most impactful player for the EG side, in my opinion, during this game. The operator is fantastic at nullifying this aggressive comp that V1 had, consistently going for the aggressive Yoru plays, the aggressive Raze plays, and the op was shutting that down on defense and on attack. The Starbound attack side op was very strong. Typically, that's a way tougher side to use the weapon.
Yeah, and Potter as well. I think we did see V1 starting to wake up towards the end, making a lot of adjustments, but EG showed a lot of depth in being able to stick with them and come up with new ideas in that OT.
For sure, for sure. And I think V1, as soon as Sarah kind of busted out the op herself and had it on her side for the defense, that is when version 1 started kind of going back to the drawing board and kind of looking like normal. But for EG's side, they were prepared each step of the way. I believe we have a clip also of Fluorescent throwing just the Giga Chad flash. I haven't even seen this corner, this angle off of short A. But all of EG are kind of countered. They're just waiting and ready. It starts off with a bait and switch. You saw that Mel got inserted close up here at short. And I mean, Sarah dies for this bait to happen, but kind of jumbled with the timing. I think it would have been better if Fluorescent was able to peek right then and there, but this flash comes out and look at EG. 2 players countered, anti-flash behind the smoke. And it just made the 4 flashes on version 1 side a lot less effective throughout this whole map.
Yeah, and right there. And here again, you can see the value of this Starbound op on the attack side. Able to be on that angle, collect an easy kill on floor when attempting to go for that play, shutting down the retake. I can't understate how great Starbound is. By far the deepest they have ever been in a Game Changers tournament with a signed team for the first time in the finals, stepping up, having that level of impact, responsibility in nullifying what V1 do on this map. Just a fantastic performance across, both sides for it.
Yeah, and for EG, that's now 1 map up in this grand final. Something that I don't think anyone expected. No one has gotten a map off of V1 in a grand finals yet. Only 1 team has done it before. And Potter, before this game started, you were talking about the fact that EG, they might just have all the weight lifted. They might just be vibing at this point. I feel like there's no better way to bolster their mental than that start.
Exactly. I mean, Bind was always going to be kind of a gamble, but EG understood coming into this series that they were always going to kind of be on the back foot. But Haven coming into this one, I think, losing to Shopify so many times on Haven with that Viper comp really kind of prepared EG to be ready for this. Now, the difference here is that Mel's going to be on that Harbor, and that really just changes the pace completely. Now version 1 are going to have the option of being really slow, being really ratty, and capitalizing off of Viper, or they can just change pace because they've got the Harbor in the back pocket. So I think that's a bit of a curveball for the side of EG. It certainly should throw them off. But as far as the Viper goes, as far as Haven goes, there's a lot of comfortability here for all 5 players on EG.
What I'm looking towards with Evil Geniuses, on their previous Haven maps that they were able to win in this tournament, a lot of it was coming down to great setup utility from the Breach, Power Pixel, and Keense's Operator, kind of in tandem, putting Keensea on the right angles to control parts of the map. And I'm looking to see how version 1 can counter that with this amalgam of, you know, walls and sightline blocking utility that they've got with this comp.
Right now, the record for version 1 is 6-0. This Game Changers with this Harbor Viper comp. They have looked excellent on it, but EG's hot streak doesn't seem like it's coming to an end anytime soon. Map number 2 of your grand finals is ready to go, and we'll send you back over to the casters, Doug and Bola.
Thank you so much, Mimi. Yeah, when we often talk about version 1, especially given the insane time that they've had throughout this year, we think about their insane lossless record. Right, you think about the fact that they hadn't lost any maps, and now we think about the fact that they've never lost Haven, and you go, well, hang on. We've seen one of those already dropped in the last couple of days. Can they be challenged on Haven, Bola?
Yeah, this would be crazy. Not only to, lose a map, to make it down 2-0 in a grand finals. This probably never happened for version 1 or the Melon Alexis core. Like, it's those types of things that you're fighting against if you're EG, but like you said, already took down 1. And you do this too. This would be ridiculous. And the crazy part for me, Doug, is this is their pick. So they expected to need to do this. They 100% are ready to face this Haven comp. And I think this might actually be a curveball for version 1.
I mean, on their stomping grounds.
Look at like a fast exec here onto the C site.
Couple players here. Hey, Keensea, hello.
Oh,
no. Oh my goodness. Almost finds a second, finally dashing away and finding solace. Esthea from backside gets 2. The counter punch from V1 is good, though. Noya's left alone. A 1v3, the spike out of hand right now. As Noya with light armor, nothing but a classic. Looks to pull off an outrageous situation. And Noya can't. EG with another round, the pistol going their way.
This is the 3rd pistol in a row here, and they were on fire yesterday. I hate to keep harping this up because
harp away, baby, harp away.
This is starting to get like a broken record. They're so good on these pistol rounds, and that's another situation that, okay, maybe that's a little bit of a mistake there for V1, but also look at the smoke that is thrown out there from EG, from Thea. It's actually giving a little gap towards Keensea, so there's place to hide there, and it's a lot harder to clear that when you're coming out that smoke as V1.
Marshall in the hands of Keensea. Playing mid. Terret just got some aggro. Is there going to be a challenge?
Yeah, I think the interesting part about that is they're working the bait. Again, it's Power Pixel that's actually hitting that turret, and she's stomping. And you can tell which agent is stomping, so they might not expect that Keatsy's still up on top of B, especially if they get forced to work back away from this.
Power Pixel with 2 flashes and the Aftershock still. Floor creeping forward just on the other side of that. Oh, the timing is good. Almost reading it just right. But Floor punishing.
Ends up being the most horrible of situations, too. They give up the Spectre and give up Garage. You can see to recover a little bit. But at this point, there's so many threats that EG's handling quite well. But the biggest one, and the one that actually EG doesn't really even care about because of the setup that they've chosen, is that A side. Are they going to be able to work up all the way towards there? But look at EG, right? Starbound's playing her with the KJ setup, and they've got it pretty much locked down to not even care about the Viper wall at all, not even care about the long lurk, the short lurk, any of this. Happy to stay way back. Now with the info out, 20 seconds left, V1 has really no way in, maybe.
They hear that. And another instance where someone goes unchecked. Keensea snapping onto another. And that's another one for EG.
And that's much cleaner than that first anti-eco that we had from EG after their pistol on binds in that situation. V1 had a massively good eco attempt there. Almost won the round. Took a clutch from Keensea. This time it's just much more well considered. Now swapping the setup back for the KJ to play on that C side. I think the point that Potter was making about experience against the Viper Omen comp that Shopify was playing against yesterday does give them a leg up here a little bit. Because now they know kind of what the goals are for some of these comps, especially on the attack side.
Right.
Harbor's a lot more dynamic, obviously. Because you get the 2 walls and the one that you could put at any place.
What a ride!
Same exact wall going out to control garage. And this is actually something that EG does fantastically on their attack side of the board as well. Inserting somebody here.
No challenge in window. That wall looks a little bit deeper than the previous one, both in the window and then towards B.
Yeah.
But again, no challenge.
Covers the link as well. And that's where you actually saw that pivot out of garage. Where I think it was Sarah who tried to lurk up on B, got kicked down by Kinsey in the mid-round.
3 members of EG posted up A right now.
There's nobody triggering that turret still after the high tide comes down. So EG's pretty comfortable about their situation. They're actually just watching window. And on this bonus, they're stacking. 3 players here, 30 seconds left. Very similar, but now with the guns, let's see what Mel with this high tide and this execute for V1 can do.
All 3, the guns that they do have are the ones posted up on site right now. Floor dashing forward, both smokes used and the cove to find cover.
Second spike has to cross.
Patient with it.
Spike's down.
Beautiful timing from Floor, but can they recover? Can they reconsiders? Floor gets a second. 15 HP left. A desperate attempt to get the spike down as Alexis is only kept alive by the smoke. It does get it planted just in the nick of time. Starbound left in a 1v3. How does that go their way?
That is good repositioning from Alexis. Heads up play too. Twice trying to get taken down there. Once as the cove goes up. Second time as the cove goes down. And then third on a must plant situation. And she gets it down. That is very nicely done from V1. In a situation that could have gone bad so many times.
Talk about nice edge, man.
I could have seen that situation and when Mel died right here on this exit when Keeps took her down. That's the spike drop. I've seen so many rounds, even at the highest level, where everybody continues with their execute and they don't pick up the spike.
Yeah.
Heads up. And super well considered.
Right
now
here.
they've got this op up from Kinsey.
Right here.
Kinsey already had a monster game so far on Bind. They also had a monster game yesterday on Haven against Shopify. Another
ahead.
20 bomb there. This is the problem, I think, for EG. The most value you can get with this op is going to be difficult to actually find. Because of the Harbor, the Viper.
Right.
It's not like you can get over the high tide that comes out, right? You can't just get up on a box or anything like that to see over.
Yeah, and the Cascade's even worse.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So much more pressure than the Omen can provide.
A plethora of tools to deny vision on a weapon that's so heavily dependent on the aforementioned Sarah. Practical 2 members here, and there it is. Not able to land the shot onto the second as Lori trades.
It's already looking much better for V1 than any of the prior rounds. Because of the way that they're actually establishing some extra map control here by Sarah lurking all the way down A, but they're even leaving Alexis here outside of B. No, there's not going to be a flash. They're easily going to be able to get this dash up for floor and take this A side.
Nice shot from Lori.
Oh, that's a missed high tide actually there, Doug.
Yeah, a little bit deep. Kind of like the one that we saw in Garage Window a couple of rounds ago.
Yeah, it kind of gives space for them to continue to peek, but also kind of keeps them in there.
Right.
In a sense.
What do they do from here? The spike has been planted.
Is that flank, this insert that we were talking about.
Big from Alexis, but they're considering it. No way. Alexis on the first. The snap onto the second is clean. Floor looking to see is there any more value that they can find.
I saw the dink too. Nose Kinsey was there. What a tough spot.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful from Alexis. I actually think that our Pixel missed with that jump spot and didn't spot Alexis there. Because they turned around,
right,
and then the second player was the one who first took contact. I think they were all caught unaware by that situation, despite being aware that it's a possibility. And those are the types of mistakes that are really hard to catch in the moment. Yeah, you see Lori. Once you see your teammate peek, you don't see. They don't call anything. They don't shoot. They don't do anything.
Hey, you think you're good?
You're less confident when you're still double checking, right?
Right.
That's brutal. Lori might have even seen them on the minimap. I don't know. Look at this aggression. Maybe with the knives. Maybe with an ult here out of Lori. Could be really devastating. Down mid.
Keensy's already taken so much space. The turret's a little bit deeper, though. Or excuse me, that's the alarm bot. Yeah, the turret is checking out of doors.
They've actually swapped the position of those two pieces of util, so yeah, a lot more shallow for Noah. But does cover both angles. It's interesting, too, because V1, I mean, they have such a different approach every single time it comes to these early rounds. If you're taking mid or if you're giving it up. And it might end up punishing them here at Keensy.
I've got your trail.
Seeker's pop, though, it's so good.
So
Look
well
how deep
considered.
they are to pop that. Yeah.
The thing is that they don't get a ton of space with it. It might not matter.
Okay, they're going into a stack, actually.
3 here.
Arkansas has the stun.
There's the fall line. Keensy still has the blades. Lori, surely you can't own a situation like this. You're too close. Getting one with the sheriff. Things finally cleaning up as that's a messy situation. But V1 take the lead.
Alexis is just bunny hopping full blind, avoiding all the sheriff shots. That hurts for Lori. And V1, yeah, I mean, they look so comfortable on this map. When I saw this veto when the desk was talking about the maps, I was like, wow, this is a ballsy pick out of EG right here.
Yeah.
This is absolutely unreal. But still much to play.
Yep.
Not exactly the same start as Bind, and they absolutely needed that, as you saw in the final end of that. Ooh, updraft.
What was that snap?
You know what's crazy, too, is the position that Keensy went for there, they went so far ahead that they're actually messing up with the crosshair placement for floor there. I wonder if they completely pre-read what that was about to happen, because they didn't even pop the dash there.
I just want to make sure we see that again from Keensy's POV if we can.
Oh, we will.
Pushing forward to Starbound, tucking and logs, dropping the spike. Flash out. It looks like a very clean round out from B1. We've talked about how comfortable version 1 look on this map.
Yeah.
Man, EG, I mean, it's early, but again, I see it. I get why this isn't as audacious of a pick as we might have thought.
I would bring your mind back, though. If you guys watched with us the Shopify V1 game, what happened every time floor went down early, especially on this attack side, but also on the defense?
Yeah.
It ended up being a desperate call for version 1 to like kind of dive in as fast as possible somewhere else in the map. Reacting into C there was the call. And it gets, I mean, destroyed because they're not as consistent with the protocols to, you know, pressure other parts of the maps.
We're not getting that replay.
All good. All good.
Somebody clipped it. Surely.
Yeah,
Let's take a look at it.
For the peak again. This one's different, though. You see they're diving all the way down on the left. And
yeah. I mean, they get ahead of the cascade, and they take a different angle. You're right.
Wall makes it so difficult, but still to be so confident from Keensy is crazy. Very few players would do what they're doing right there. And when this wall goes down with the fuel, they actually have such a... The drone's going in, Keensy can get even more advanced. They have a lot of info. Now, though, it's a tough spot, though, because it did require the drone to be up there.
Right.
And they're on the B side because of it.
Noya's covering the flank, too. It was a tap to get the Hunter's Fury out, it sounds like.
Pivoting the garage. Losing that fight is everything right here. They're dogging to go back into garage. Mel even pivoting even further, going up in the window with the spike, though. This is dangerous. Floor is with her.
EG with 3.
That's a ding.
Starbound not landing a shot on the first, and there it is. The spike hits the ground. His power picks up, finds just the right window and just the right timing. But a 2v2. Floor weak, 52 HP, no armor. The spike being committed. Keensy with the op.
Oh, they plan for spawn.
You're right. It's not planted for her at all. Spike. ticking away.
And Quincy confirmed that is planted for backside there while she peeked out. So Lori is very well aware that
Remaining.
That's the first one down. Noya, a 1v1, and Quincy gets a shot with both. The op finding so much value for EG.
Unreal. Quincy is playing so well. This is why, heading into this series, it was not Floor who was the highest rated player. I know. We've said that a lot on the cast overall, watching EG the last couple of days. But man, it's still shocking to think about that we have this duel between unbelievable players here. And that's a second round in a row where there's a little bit of fear in V1 there, right? Fear in the sense that last time Floor went down, they instant reacted. Kind of feels like a similar pattern emerges where they're not as confident. But then here, so worried about that stun Hunter's Fury combo, and for good reason, absolutely.
Yeah.
But they're spending so much time to even get to tapping the spike. And I have to bring my attention over to Mel because she was the one with the spike in that round. That's why it took a little longer, but she's also making that call. It's a great call. I'm wondering, though, confidence starts to be dropping a little bit here all around for version 1 because we are seeing a timeout pretty early. In comparison to how, Effie has held on to it even through all the overtimes last time. Despite the fact that they did end up making a little comeback to bring it there. It's important. Especially, Mel's 0-7 right now when your IGL is not ending up finding impact in the circle. It's oftentimes because they're working so hard at coming up with the ideas. Here's a much more standard one. This is right out of Loud's playbook, right? Take that cascade down long, force away the op from Quincy. Go for a fast execute here with the Rocket.
Lori might be in trouble. Lori's so dead. Dog. The Reckoning.
A flash actually keeps her back. Wait, this pin is so...
How is Lori still alive, and how does Lori get both? Noya and Floorfall. Finally, Lori meets her demise. See the spam through. They've got the Rolling Thunder. That's a spike. No. Not planted.
Oh no, the Aftershock 2 with the spam. Oh my goodness, they just dodged the detain, but not the Odin. Like a god from above in the heavens.
How
just unreal.
How does Lori? Bro. Yeah.
I have to say, I was talking about how this was right out of Loud's playbook. That one stacking up. That's new for me. That pit with the Reckoning. That's why it's like dissonant ideas, the Reckoning to hit the A execute fast as well, and then you're doing a really passive plant pit. I wonder if it's because you're thinking about that lockdown coming in.
Possibly.
One enemy remains.
You got to look one more time at Lori's 2K. When it seemed like, again, there was the Reckoning, there was the dog, there was Floor nipping at her heels.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't enough. Outrageous hold, outrageous play for EG to get 3 rounds in a row and a 2-round lead over version 1.
Yeah.
On a map that has been so highly touted as being their sweet spot. Another clean shot from Quincy. The snap on the floor.
Floor down. Let's see what happens. There wasn't many options to really go for here, but it's a hero rifle for Noya. And Floor, I'm sure, had something as well. Maybe a Guardian purchased up.
This fault line setup, dude. Yeah, mollies. One of them was popped.
They're walking through this thing. It looked like they're going to flash. And it's going to connect, but almost actually loses the body there, too.
Easy now. So they've pushed Quincy off the angle. They've established some control of B.
Even if they get the spike down here, they're getting breach ulted in post, so they're so scared of inside. Oh my goodness. That's the hero rifle down, too.
And there's no one around to pick it up. That was clean up from Sarah. Finding some value with the Sheriff. Starbound feeling the pressure, understanding a lot of version 1 members around them. Almost hitting what would have been an outrageous snap onto the second or transfer to the third.
They bought time, though. The rest of their team.
did. Alexis with an Odin. Only one up now. 50 HP. And only 43 bullets. Position given away. The spam out from Lori gets EG their 6th.
Floor losing that fight immediately to Keency, just constantly. Makes it look like V1 require floor up on this attack side. And we're approaching. EG, especially if they win this one, would force V1 again to have only the loss bonus. They're at max loss bonus at this point, but I have to wonder if we're going to see even bigger gap here than we saw in Bind.
Fault line held for power. Yeah, getting Keency onto a deep angle.
I got this.
As soon as that wall goes up, though, it's going to continue to be an issue.
I mean, we've seen Keency not really care about this wall at all.
Yeah, that's true.
In most of these situations. Think about the rounds that V1 has won, right? You usually are getting like Alexis Giga Lurk, you had Sarah deep down A. It feels like everything is moved up so frequently. By the way, they didn't use the breach ult last round, so still hitting this B site.
Right.
It's still a tool.
Ooh. That turret, a nuisance. Floor, 56 HP, no armor. Keency's taking so much space.
Plat's not down yet. They're still waiting. All this util, the mollies, the aftershock, everything.
Thea has a paranoia. And there's the rolling thunder. Thea on the swing. Onto the first. Sarah blinded, but Noya. Perfect position, perfect timing. I mean, that was a big tool that they had. Meanwhile, you've had to deal with the fact that Floor's been playing back on the entire time.
Oh, she's stuck here. Shock to take her down. They broke the lockdown with the spam.
Seemed like they were trying to get her as well. That shock dart right at her lap.
And she's down to 9 now. That shock dart did hit. Damage done even further.
Spike's still not down, by the way. 15 seconds left.
I mean, ultimately, they will end up winning the war over the attrition, but
yeah, it's patient and it's calculated. It's cautious,
Right here.
and it's successful for now. See the ping setup.
There's nobody to break that from El, by the way. Not that it matters. She's pretty safe here. They can actually pressure Floor backside.
They know where she is. I mean, she's been there again. Been there the entire time. The flash to creep forward for just a little bit. Mel on the snap at Floor. Getting one before falling. Keency with the up.
Starbound's in position to actually destroy Noya.
There it is. There's the first. Alexis, 73 HP on the swing. A 1v2. Time is short. Starbound gets it. Wow.
There's no way. No way they should have won that. There's just no way. 4v5 on that retake. V1's positions, I mean, despite the fact that Floor was back there the entire time, nobody really there to support her. Yeah, I think she did get traded by Noya because there's no smoke down on front B here. And everybody kind of playing isolated there. Sarah, especially down at the end there, not able to do anything against Keency. And that op is just working magic. Such impact round after round. Eco broken a little bit here, but 3 vandals is significant.
Woo. Thought for a second there'd be something. Keency gets blades online. Op still in hand.
I mean, that was damage done. 102 HP now. For Noya, very little. Especially when the Odin's in play, that's a couple less bullets.
We're getting tagged. No follow-up.
Last time V1 went for this execute on A, at least this even just this beginning strat, right, where you're walking up long with a cascade, that sort of thing. They ended up going for a fast execute with the Reckoning and then pitting. This time they have none of those tools at their disposal, so it will have to be a full hit. See if they can get the same value with that Trailblazer on the short. I don't think they will with Lori and Power. I mean, they're set up for this. They're reading it beautifully again.
It just seems like they're ahead of this so much. You've got the code that's intended to let him creep out, but again, the Odin just absolutely melts it.
30 seconds
Counter
left.
flash to buy some time. They're going to try to creep their way forward, a 1-for-1. Up still in hand is Keency's looking for another blades on. There's too many targets to be found, and none of them collected.
I after all that. Advantage again for V1. Yeah, just threw out the flash, the last remaining piece of util that they could actually work with this on the retake. Instead, just Starbound peeking.
Remember, this was a 4v2. Molly's gonna buy some space. Not much. A little bit, though. And he's breaking. Starbound on the swing. Snaps another one. No way. They're gonna pull off this 2v4. Noya left alone. No way! What have we just watched?
What are we watching? Multiple rounds in a row now. I'm speechless. They're stomping them. They're winning rounds they absolutely should.
In the half.
And they're getting the better reads on so frequently right now. EG are up bigger than you ever would have expected after the beginning of this half when V1 went 3 rounds in a row. But what a response from EG. 6 rounds, double it. And give it to the next, because this is ridiculous.
And they've been impressive the way they've done it too. Again, you don't have to go very far back. That was a 2v4 that they just won to close out the 11th round. 12th now on the table. You see the spam coming out from Power. You heard the blades online from Floor. Nothing but a stinger to go with it. Op still in hands for Keensey.
So cautious.
Yep.
A lot earlier in this half. She just got some.
That's the blades.
She's just sitting in the corner. The Odin's up. And here's the speed up. And the worst part about it is that Cove is going up for Floor to dive in, and it's not. Yep. She's not alive. She's not in the play.
Mel attempted to creep forward. Takes a little bit of damage and has to back on up. Remember, Reckoning in hand. Right on cue is invested. And the Odin is just going to be the line in the sand that you're going to have a really hard time crossing through. That's another. Keensey one with the op. Noya with the clean flick. Get to a 1v4. The flash, the nano, the 1v4, and that's a 9-3 half in favor of Evil Geniuses.
This is crazy. Absolutely absurd what we're seeing here. This is what everybody has been waiting for so long. Whenever they tune into it, North American Game Changers is when will the Queens fall. EG look to be that team that can do the impossible. 9-3, improving on their bind half. This time, after flipping the pick of V1, who has veto advantage, by the way. EG with a unbelievably scary pick of Haven going into this, and they have just come out showing us why.
Wow. Shock early. Floor taking the space, so. And they're just going to go scrappy. They want to go aggressive, and they want to take these fights mid, and it seems to be paying off. Look at how far up Alexis and Floor are with Mel.
That's a great punish there, punting 2 players alone. Still not over, though. I mean, the post-plant situation, whether it's on defense or attack, has been a big issue here.
It's been sus, for sure.
3v5, we've seen 2v4s.
Alexis and Mel are both weak.
There's tools here, though. Alexis has a flash, have high tide mollies, everything. They can come out right now. I'm surprised they don't spring with the flash or with the spike going down right now.
There's the flash. Do they check hell? Ooh! 1 for 1. Sarah on the swing as Thea falls. What on earth can Power do? Nothing. Version 1, I believe that's the first pistol of the series that they've won.
Yep. And for the first time, too, actually finding the counter to what EG choose. These rounds, a lot of times, can be coin flippy. A lot of times you can, you can run up to a team that's just doing a complete gimmicky strat that if your default is not completely considered and you don't figure out exactly what's going on in time, it can be brutal. But EG, consistently, they're not running that. They're running a lot more pistols that can go up against everything, the breadth of what the other team can do. In this round, though, they get caught out by V1. Flashing out garage, pushing down mid for Floor.
Oh, Keensey with a Marshall. Yeah.
With the plant down. And
yep, just enough.
got 1 kill as well.
Light armor, too.
Yeah, actually, that's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. A notable
Do some
investment in a
damage.
situation where you wouldn't expect anything purchased. Maybe a sheriff.
Yeah, a couple sheriffs out to the flat for sure. Oh, that could have been a head.
Yes, it could have.
Keensy's way out by themselves, too.
Dashing forward. Marshall finding nothing.
Spike down.
Joya looks like she might just clean him up on her own. She's already gotten 3 on the round.
This is where this comp absolutely thrives. These C-holds are ridiculous. So I like EG trying to challenge here on the eco against it. Because you got to show that you're willing to take this side. Otherwise, you start to cheat if you're V1.
Flawless.
And it's flawless. All because Noya is actually holding in front of the wall. That's such a nice setup. Something you don't expect for EG. That's probably why Keensy goes so aggressive, why the dash is even active in the first place. Spotting the player backside, though. Jump spotting. I think they might have thought they had a chance to isolate. No way against this Viper Harbor.
4 rounds separating these two squads.
We talked a lot on binds about, you know, the round difference, like you just mentioned, but also like closing out maps like this.
Yeah.
This one, D1 already, you know, putting together some of the most important. Peek. Oh my goodness.
That is bold, bro. That is confident.
Look, before that upper finals for V1 against Shopify, Floor was still topping the charts.
Yeah.
Against Keensy. But it was moments like these that completely hinder Floor. They're left on an island completely. She's by herself. And she's not able to stay alive or find the opening pick there. Most of the time you're touting her success at those entries. But when by herself, when it's up against formidable aim on the other side, sometimes it's not enough. They're going to dash on site. There's 3 players here.
ET looking for some face, a flash in the face as they both double face. Where do you go from here? You're just going to flip the map?
Got completely denied, and they didn't.
30 seconds left.
No, you're still going to have to deal with that. The paranoia out from Thea. Create a little bit of space, even though the spam coming through leaves Ballot nothing, 10 HP. She continues to push forward. She's got one of the kills. That's a great response from Version 1. That's a bonus.
I got scared for a second, too, because normally when you see V1 dive onto the sites, it's not coordinated. It's not with everybody. A lot of times it's like, oh, okay, you're just doing that because you can. And they can. But this time, everybody was there. Much, much better. That's going to be the timeout for EG. Yeah, the bonus converted. Normally it's EG doing that, and here we're back within 3. That's why these 9 threes can be very deceiving. Suddenly, with a couple of rounds, the game is back on. This is not nearly as similar of a situation as we saw in Bind, despite the fact that EG had a much better half.
Things just get out of hand so quickly. You're right.
Do have to say, I think this comp that V1 runs is very streaky. Yeah. I've seen so many different teams with massive, massive halves. And massive half losses, too. Right back to them. When you think about the best teams in the world on this comp, it happens quite frequently. Not towards the tail end of it, but absolutely when it was first getting debuted. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Probably one of the most streaky comps of the year. Other than maybe like the Ascent Standard, but that one is not really unique in any way.
Right there.
On the other side of the timeout, we'll see what EG decide to go with this. Light armor on 3 members, and the Marshal in the hands of Keensy. We haven't seen the op very much at all. It's interesting, too, because there's an abundance of money here for V1.
Yeah, especially when you think back, though, for EG on behind. They were attack side hopping a lot.
Yeah. Yep.
And Keensy clearly not interested in that. With the Marshall purchase, nobody's going to save up for it, so I think EG needs to start doing a little bit more of what V1 was doing, despite, you know, not having as much success for V1. But, you know, trying to poke in Garage, trying to poke in B, break the U-tilt, so that they can allow those late round pivots. Instead, they're looking for a pick with Keensy. Opportunity was given before. They're challenging again, Floyd.
Well, Keensey not looking the right way, blindsided and clotheslined.
That's surprising that Lord just shot that dart. Oh my goodness.
Up close and personal, finding value with the Sheriff as Mel's on the swing. And we've seen, what, 3 kills now, where one player's just not looking at the other. And they're converting this.
Spike down, B.
They're converting this. Is it to 2v2? Thea's upgraded a weapon. That Sheriff shot had to land. Can Thea do it with 30 HP? Spike picked up. Alexis jump spotting. No way! Thea's gotten it to 1. A tap and a mad dash to A.
There's no TP here, so there's not as much room for Thea to actually play for any difference.
10 seconds
It's really
left.
dependent on if Noya chooses to fight. No, Noya didn't even realize that it wasn't going to be B still. There could have been a C push, anything.
That's going to buy
It's
so
planned
much
for
time.
long.
It's going to buy so much time for Thea to reposition and play this the way she wants.
And don't forget, the ult got picked up because of that. So you can make Noya's TP back up to heaven, and all of a sudden things are really dangerous if you're not at least getting to half here for Noya. She's taking time to clear things instead.
I mean, she has to.
Didn't even clear heaven, by the way, and she doesn't know there's no TPs here.
Paranoid, feeling the need to fill the void. There's the swing, and there's the clutch for Thea. A 3K to get EG to 10.
Thrifty too. Once again, the same problems.
No,
Skeletons.
is that a 1v2 with 30 HP?
1v2.
That's insane.
I mean, just picking up a Phantom off of kills too. I just spoke about how V1 in the last round, right? When they were going for that reflood after losing floor, 4 people just rushing back onto the B side as the plant comes down. It's the same situation here, but just completely uncoordinated, right?
Yeah.
Floor going way deep. Sarah, Mel, everybody diving into that situation.
Up
That's
in the hands of
exact
Floor.
opposite.
Up in the hands of Floor, by the way, you just mentioned. Keensey up close with the Vandal. The flash on the swing. Floor just ahead of it, just barely. Eating that flash. A snap onto Keensey leaves a crackle as another head is popped. Holy smokes.
Placing swarm grenade. Swarm grenade
That
out.
imagery too. Makes me squirm a little bit. And that shot. She's repositioned.
Looking for another. And the potential to deal even more damage. Desperately needed round. Oh my goodness. Buzzing by the ear, head left ringing. Counts her lucky stars.
She's finding her way to almost every single peak, it feels like, from EG right now. Planting her feet down on B, though. And that's because Noya's got that deep, deep push down C. I think she just took the C orb on defense.
You hear
30
all
seconds
of this.
left.
This is cleared, right?
What?
Nicely cleared. I
She's
don't think
running.
Lord saw moving.
She's running.
Rolling Thunder in hand, though, for power. Do you go aggressive with it? Do you push them back?
Well, you have to consider with that lockdown, they might need to use that in the post here.
Oh, you're right.
The ult for Thea. She's going gong right now. This is going to be able to pop the turret and really pressure at this point.
She's got to be careful here.
Power is staying. She's going to get locked down to get this ult off.
There it is. Finally,
It's
the
way too
reposition.
early.
Thea got to the other side of Gong. There it is. Turret cleared. Noya feeling the pressure. No way. Now they know as Floor gets a second. Floor gets a third. Looking for the last one to power. Mel's just going to hold the defuse, and that's another round for V1.
Oh, that's a big blunder there for EG. They had the... Hello? Okay. They had the... Whatever. Power had the tools there, in my mind, to really work at that round, but instead uses... she still tried... They tried to do exactly, you know, what we were thinking with that ult. Tried to delay them as they come onto site. But I think maybe just getting out the lockdown, waiting for them to come on site, and using it to stop the defuse. Probably much better, because she can work with her teammates. Instead, they get detained. And that's rough.
Op still back in the hands of Floor.
Turret down.
Not a ton of money on the V1 side. Seeker's all mine for Alexis.
If there's a tag there, Lori might end up.
I
going
have
for
the spike.
Yeah. Yep.
Ults on the eco right now. There's 2 guns still remaining because they did stay alive last time, so this isn't like they're forcing up or anything.
All right, clearing out the turret. See the pings on the mini-map? The aftershock to clear it. Sarah almost punished. Oh yeah, holding garage 4. 4 funneling through. And the tags push Noya back.
Floor's in a weird spot right here. Do they expect it? No. Not yet.
That's the first. Blades online. Has to dash back. Surrounded. Not able to land it yet. The final blade connects. Looking for more as Noya gets 2. And it's a flawless round for version 1.
And this is the problem of V1. At any point, they can heat up. At any point, Floor. In the last round of this one, too. Noya combined. Sarah in moments as well. Makes it so difficult to put away. This game, despite that first half scoreline, has never been safe for EG.
I mean, we saw it on Bind.
Compared to Bind, I thought that was much, much more safe. Yeah. This one, V1 showing exactly why no lead is at this point. Floor again with the op, Keency with the knives. This time it's a full buy.
They're going fast about it. Confident, looking to take space. Flash to set Keency up, take a little peek. Nothing found. They take a step back.
They've run this strat before. Set Keency up deep in garage. Yep, V1 is so aware of their prior tendencies, and it might get punished instead. It's Power who just stays a little longer. And great smell.
They're going to rotate back into this op. Do they have anything to clear at the drone?
They're droning. Floor can tuck against this. This isn't the end of the world. She can absolutely just tuck and get back on the angle.
Right. It's not going to go far enough. Keency just took a lot of high ground.
This is crazy. They did end, when I watched this strat, they ended towards A. Very surprising, seeing nothing there, choosing not to go, but Floor has all the reads. It's the power of that jet op.
Just narrowly missing onto Sarah. There's Keency dashes forward again, 26 HP. And they're just running right around each other. Alexis gets 3. That was filth. Floor, a 1v1.
Be on the flank here.
Op in hand. It's gonna have to be snappy if it connects. He's not aggressive with it. Thought she was gonna hit the shot, and Power plucks her out of the sky. A 3K to get EG to 11. They can't afford the op anymore, I don't think.
I'm not sure. Hard to catch the icon there. These trades are crazy. I think in that moment too, I don't really think Floor go for the updraft. They could just scoot away. Either way, that's exactly what Floor does. Moves fast with the mechanics, tries to make quick decisions, make it really difficult for you to continue to play. This is a fast short hit right here. Keency might end up dashing down short to try to punish anybody playing in that pit, which is coming down. There's no follow-up though. The dart does not tag Sarah. That's the thing that they were trying to do. What a good call from EG. Execution, not quite perfection. If they had a dart that lands inside the pit down on the floor, it would have been better. That one lands up on top on the roof and she's covered. Still following up though with the drone with the tag. Something like that could really hurt.
Up shot, connecting from Floor. Onto Power. As Floor goes to double dip.
Who's taking the orb there? I think it must be Starbound here. Is this the final follow-up? Hitting the C orb, hitting Garage, having a really strong post plant with a lockdown in the middle of it. Mel, Noya, they're sticking by though.
Mel creating a little bit of cover for herself. Shot gonna hurt, and the spam hurts even more. Noya from backside dealing with both targets. It's a little bit labored. One ultimately falls.
Spike planted.
Sarah's gonna have to 1v2 this to keep this thing up.
Man, it's so tough to keep track of EG when they're calling these pivots so beautifully.
Yeah. Sarah, oh, gun barrel, maybe. Yep, spotted. An idea of both, but utility out at just the wrong time as Lori gets a third. EG map point once more.
Match point.
I think even more attempts at it this time. I mean, overall, the overtimes and stuff at Bind, I think just in regulation they have more attempts right now. And I've got to give huge props to Lori here. I think this entire idea of a strat is hers. Because that's a Sova's perfect round right there. Uses the dart, almost tags the Viper on the pit, uses that dash from Keensey, calls out for it to try to counter the entire idea from V1. And then the rotate is perfect too. Trading perfectly in the garage, shocking close logs where Mel is trying to play. It's just perfect from Lori. This is why Thea was hyping her up, happy that she was able to be picked up off of Shopify Rebellion. Experience showing through in this best of 5 so far.
We were surprised, we were shocked as Version 1 dropped the first map of the year just a couple of days ago. And for many, you look at that and go, well, that was a flash in the pan, right? There's no way it happens again. Sure enough, you fast forward a little bit, UG find themselves up 1-0 in this Grand Finals best of 5. And the potential to be up 2-0.
It's crazy. Absolutely ridiculous. And
Scanning ahead.
V1 obviously completely not backing down. The fact that this map is close, the fact that we went to OT on bind shows you.
They've crept up. And Thea was ready. What? That's just so well considered by Floor.
She's insane, man. She's insane, and even that, it doesn't feel like it's enough in some of these instances.
I mean, it hasn't.
Bomb grenade out.
It hasn't been enough. They're down 4.
Alexis deep on short right now. That could be the, especially if Noya falls, could make the entire difference.
Noya was flashed twice. Somehow still gets a kill.
Spike down.
Floor with 3 on the round. The Guardian still in hand.
Just that there. Find somebody sleeping. This is a crazy round from Floor, but also Noya has been so good on this map. Whenever they're hitting her sight, it feels like she's good for 2, maybe 3 most times. They bring it within 3. This looks like it's going to be another light buy round for UG. They do have one more timeout remaining too.
They also have a lot of very important ultimates, either online or about to be online. I'm mainly looking at Power right now and the fact that they're just 1 point away from having the Rolling Thunder.
Yeah.
You know, you let this round go a little sideways, 12-10, but you still have so much to pack behind a punch.
I think Lori's been holding this Sovo for so long because of Noya possibly getting up to that lockdown.
Yeah.
You're right, though. All those in combination with their own lockdown, the breach ult, those sorts of things. We're talking about it again. That could end the game right there. E1 need to make these rounds clean. They need to, honestly, win condition for this series, bring in OT right now, could be just saving on these ults. Winning rounds without needing to use them. Because this cycle is going to be very strong for EG. Which makes every round leading up to when those ults get spended so dangerous.
Right.
Because, I mean, you've seen how these two teams react when there are big ult combinations available, right? You've seen so many counters from both sides. Bind the Yoru ults constantly. This one, EG trying to dash counter the Viper Spit. Which means your plans are so much weaker against everything else when it's not using these ults.
Flash as Keensey pushes forward. Makes a step right back, but that's enough to draw some rotates
a lot of
and
rotation.
get the Reckoning
Whoa!
out.
And they're using the ults. Exactly the opposite of what I think
left.
they're using the lockdown on A. This is actually kind of nice. They can't pivot towards that A site. The mollies are still up.
Yeah, but they're rotating back there.
They're rotating back. This is bad.
It was nice and it was bad and it was nice and it was bad again.
It might be disastrous at the end of the day, even if they lose this.
13 seconds left. Mel once again cleared from the same spot. It was blind from Keensey. One's still up for Version 1 though. Sarah tries to hold him back sight. Oh, it's got down to 1v2. Starbound 1v1, 5 HP, and Noya swings out at the right time.
Oh my goodness. Close to absolute disaster. But barely over that edge to qualify it as a disaster because they lost every person and key point, they lost every ult. I was just saying, win condition. Don't use the ults on this eco. Don't use the ults. Whatever you do. And I love the idea. Don't get me wrong. In theory, I love what they did to secure that round, 100%. But it should have been flawless. That lockdown to prevent them from pivoting to A, the reckoning to stop them from going C, those types of things are really nice ideas. But now you're left into a weird position where your buy is kind of crap. Thankfully, they've got those knives up for Floor, and she can get the op up. So it's not as bad as I'm thinking. But you've got 4 ults on the other side to deal with.
Big ones, no less. Significant ones. Aftershock to attempt to clear the turret that's not there. It's actually posted up outside of garage right now. Excuse me, further into garage.
Playing that 4-1 setup, I think that's great because it counters any A ult that could come down with the lockdown. And it also actually might get out a bunch of wasted ults from EG where there's no value on the B side, on the C side, because they're playing full retake for them. At this point, though, with these advanced positions from Alexis and Sarah, that starts to be dangerous. There's the clear.
Wow. They're going to pop secrets instantly to try to push him back in. Meanwhile, Op is separated from all this as the rest of the fight takes place towards A! Version1 are holding them! I mean, I thought for sure this is when EG were going to dump the ults and we're going to create some space and
They can't. They're
them
not
away.
close enough. That's what I'm talking about. That's why that setup is so good. Playing 4 aggressive. And we get ever closer. This is such a ridiculous series so far. Full save. With 2 remaining.
10 seconds
so they
left.
keep the lockdown. They keep the Hunter's Fury.
Yep.
I believe they have the Rolling Thunder as well. Only ult that was used, if I'm not mistaken, was Thea's.
This brings you to a weird situation where if I'm V1, I'm calling. There's no gun here. There's surely not. Okay, cool. If I'm V1, I'm going right back towards the same setup because they still have that lockdown, and I still want to deny it. I want to deny any space on A long so they can't breach ult us, all that stuff. I want to run exactly the same thing. Whereas if I'm EG, I'm thinking, okay, if we want to get value, we've actually got to take it to that, right?
Yeah.
Exactly that. And I'm also thinking maybe they don't go for the same type of thing where there's a trap down long, where they're playing aggressive. And we got to prevent them from being able to do that, which sets us up for a crazy final round. And that's everything that they're talking about right now. There's obviously other options here for sure for EG. Garage control, take that.
Yeah, but if all the Killjoy utilities set up over there,
it's a lot harder to, again, right? Find value out those ults that they're useful in.
Yep.
You're not just wasting it to an empty site.
Jovi, the head coach of EG, calls a timeout to discuss the very same things.
I don't envy him,
that they're
man.
discussing. Nope, me neither, bro. Me
This
neither.
is tough. Because you got Effie's in the call, too.
Now, the other thing that we need to keep in mind here is I want to say the money for EG isn't great coming into this last round, but
No, but they do have the saved weapons, right?
Right. And Keensy 1 point away from Blades.
Yeah. I might have to make a play. Look, they're grouping outside of A. It's the same thing for V1, too. Everyone grouping.
Up for Floor. That's exactly where she is. What is the setup here? Floor gets across.
Laura needs to use her silver.
Those Blades popped at the beginning. Keensy dashing forward. There's the Rolling Thunder. The Paranoia to the right. The Rolling Thunder to the left. The path paved.
They're set up to receive this A push so well. Starbound and Lori up close.
Oh, that missed. Just a little wide.
They've got such a good cross, though.
Lori takes a further step back. Blades in play. Blades down. Op down. Lori with the second. Are you expecting the third? No. Meanwhile, Starbound was looking the wrong way. Sarah's so deep in right now as the spike continues to tick away. Keensy's in a really nice spot. 3v2. What else can they find? Keensy with the blade. Sarah on the trade. Can Sarah pull this off? Didn't get it to half. This just got so much more difficult. I don't think they can pull this off. No!
Attackers win.
It completes a version of expectations. Not only do Version1 lose the map that they were previously undefeated on, but they find themselves down 0-2 in the grand finals at the hands of EG. Oh, what on earth is happening?
This is crazy. I mean, this is not what I was expecting heading into this grand finals. This has just gotten all the more interesting. The one team with the two players who have never lost a Game Changers finals, now down 2-0 for the first time ever, have to pull off a reverse sweep, which is just unheard of. And all this with the crazy drama stakes in the background that if EG win here, Shopify is not going to Brazil. It's just ridiculous.
I mean, yeah, that's the craziest part about all this is V1 are in a fight right now. I mean, their ticket to Brazil is punched.
Yep.
Shopify, Rebellion, and their fans everywhere are sitting on the edge of this seat, seeing what's going to go down on what could potentially be the greatest upset in Game Changers history. We'll see you guys on the other side of the break.
I wish for the amazing new iPhone 15 Pro. Sean.
Do you mean this one, the one with titanium? Switch to Verizon. You can trade in any iPhone and get the new iPhone 15 Pro on them.
Trade in any iPhone in any condition for a new iPhone 15 Pro on us, only on Verizon.
Red Bull gives you wings.